I hope you're all doing well today and you've been enjoying the amazing sessions that have been going on, and hopefully you've gained some key knowledge, insight and takeaways to implement in your businesses so far. Thank you so much for choosing to join my session today. My name is Eriona and I will be spending the next 40 minutes or so discussing how you can adopt an app ecosystem within your business in order to elevate it. There will be time for a short Q&A at the end of this session, so if you have any burning questions or maybe you'll think of questions throughout the session, please do make a note of them and submit them, and I'll try my best to answer as many as I can in the time that we have available today. So without further ado, who am I? My name is Eriona Bajrakurtaj. I am the Managing Director of Majors Accounts, which is a family-run accountancy practice based in Southeast London, and we were established in 2006. In terms of my academic background and qualifications, I'm a Chartered Certified Accountant with the ACCA. I have a Master's in Accounting and Finance and a Master's in Law specialising in International Banking and Finance. And I've also recently completed a postgraduate diploma in Financial Strategy from the University of Oxford. I had thought that my studying days are done, but do we ever really stop learning? I don't think so. And with the pace at which the world is changing, evolving, advancing, I don't think we're going to find ourselves learning on a daily basis. So I'm also a member of the ACCA UK Practitioners Network panel and an ACCA SME Global Forum member, and also a proud member of the QuickBooks Accountants Council. Over the years, Majors Accounts have built a substantial client base through organic growth via word of mouth mostly. We are now a team of 19, servicing businesses in all sectors and industries such as the hospitality sector, pubs, bars, restaurants, hairdressers, barbers, to name but a few. But we also have a large chunk of our client base in the construction industry, in all areas of the construction industry, including property developers. And then we also have other businesses such as car washes, financial advisory, law firms and utility companies, to name but a few. So you can tell that our client base is quite varied and diverse, and over the years I'd say we've probably seen it all. Our clients are mostly sole traders or limited companies, and we deal with these small to medium-sized businesses providing all accountancy related services including funding. And we have over the years built up a network which allows us to act as a one-stop shop for our clients. So whatever our clients' business needs, if we're unable to provide solutions ourselves, we will usually have someone in our network who can. As such, we've built a loyal and strong relationship with our clients, which over the years has allowed for our national expansion. And as we are a family-founded and run practice, we like to ensure that our clients and our team are treated as such, which has helped to really build an excellent rapport for all parties involved. Since becoming the Managing Director of Majors Accounts, I have spearheaded and implemented a digitalization strategy with the help of QuickBooks and the apps that feed into QuickBooks to transform not only my own business, but that of my clients too. So we are now fully cloud-based and a paperless office, and we have the ability to work from anywhere in the world. And as such, our clients do not need to spend hours to come and meet us now, as everything can be completed online. And one common misconception and question that I have had regularly is, well, now that you're digital, that must mean that your clients deal with computers and machines and they no longer have that human interaction. Well, actually, no, it's quite the opposite. We are now using technology to allow us to speak to our clients much more frequently than we did when we were, say, a traditional firm, because we have that time available now, and we're contacting them instead of once a year, for example, 4 or 5 times a year. I'm proud to say that we are a QuickBooks Online only practice, which has helped us to build on experience and expertise to ensure we can fully help our clients. Our efforts haven't gone unnoticed. We were shortlisted by the British Accountancy Awards for 2 years in a row for Firm of the Year Greater London. I've been shortlisted for 3 awards by the Women in Accountancy and Finance Awards 2020, as well as being nominated for Top 50 Women in Accounting globally. I need to stress that today you're not going to be getting a sales pitch from me. I will be telling you our story, how we have managed to transform and elevate our business and our clients' businesses using QuickBooks and the app ecosystem within it, so you have more time to focus on what you do best in your business, whatever it may be, in order to achieve your goals. We have quite a bit to cover on today's agenda, but I don't think that we can ignore the events of the last year and how much this has affected businesses in so many ways. So we will be going through how COVID has affected your business. We'll also be talking about your business, so your dream versus your reality. When someone says, I'm starting my own business, it sounds very prestigious and it's really interesting and an envious position to be in. It's something to be proud of, but do we really know or anticipate what it is like to start, grow and maintain a business? Are the ideas that we had realistic? I will also be talking about the importance of an advisor. Now, not everyone has the luxury of having a great mentor when they start their business. So, someone who has tried and tested the business world, they may have failed a few times, learn from their mistakes and eventually succeeded, to then tell you which path to take. Sure, you can argue we all need to fail in order to learn how to succeed, but what if with the right advisor on board by your side, success could be achievable by being less costly, less stressful, and with the right organisation, be reached in less time? I'm sure that's something that we would all love. And I will be going over the app ecosystem, which is what this session is all about. So as we know, a business, is not straightforward. It's made up of so many components which all need to fit together and be well balanced to ensure a successful business venture and growth. I'll be going through what some of these are and how the burden can be alleviated with the help of QuickBooks and the app ecosystem, because they are intertwined. Lastly, I'll be going through what I think your key takeaways should be and help to provide a plan of action so that at the end of this session you can identify at least 2 or 3 actions you can take to find efficiencies in your business and put your dreams down on paper in a structured way. As I mentioned, there will also be an opportunity for questions at the end of this session. So we'll get right into it. So how has COVID affected your business? The events of the last year could not have been foreseen. Many businesses have been affected globally. There are strong, profitable businesses who were blindsided and were not prepared for the events of the last year. And all their hard work that they have built up over could be a number of years may have unfortunately been lost. There are businesses that were just starting up. They did not have the opportunity to even do that and have failed at the first hurdle just as they were entering the business world. On top of this, we've had Brexit and the changes which needed to be implemented, which many businesses again were not ready for. So many have used the word unprecedented, which is true, but if you take a moment and think, in life nothing is guaranteed. You may have a great idea, but if not implemented well, it will simply not work. You may have an idea that may not be viable, but with the right research and planning, it can become a success. And in life, there will always be surprises, good and bad, and your business journey will be no different. We must all try to plan for all eventualities if we're to give our business the best chance of survival. Now, that's not to say that you can have a perfect plan and it will be realized exactly as you intended. For example, the global pandemic that we're still in may not be something that anyone could have foreseen. We've had to live through conditions which, although are almost being considered somewhat normal now, or the new normal, they were inconceivable just a year ago. However, as has been said by many, and something that I live by, if a plan doesn't work, change the plan, not the goal. If your goal is to make your business a success, the way that you're getting there and the plan that you've put in place has to be able to be changed to account for any hurdles that you encounter during your journey. I personally make 5-year plans usually and work my way backwards. So I know where I want to be in 5 years' time, but how I get there may not be obvious to me right now. I can have some shorter term goals to get there, but either way, it's so important to not be rigid and allow for flexibility for unforeseen events or circumstances. And by having this mindset, the chance of failing becomes a lot smaller as you predict any eventuality technically, as you know that things may not go as you had envisioned, and if they do not, you will pivot and change the plan to deviate onto a different path to get to your goal. As an example, I was lucky. I had a plan. My goal was to be a digital firm, and my plan, which I've been realizing over the last few years of becoming that, was realized in full with perfect timing for the pandemic, as we managed to carry on working from home with little change to our processes. That's not to say that it was an easy journey and things did not go as I had planned, but we got there in the end. That being said, there have been many schemes available to businesses to help keep them going, such as the bounce back loan or the CBILS loans, which you needed to really consider whether your business will be in a position to pay these back in 12 months' time over a certain period of time. There were also government grants for the hospitality sector, for example, which gave many businesses the opportunity to ease cash flows temporarily, to buy some time for these businesses to pivot and try to change the ways they trade and find other ways of trading, whether that was trying to go online or reducing certain operations and growing others. Those that couldn't take advantage of these could also have taken the discretionary grants, and many of which are not aware of. So if there is anybody out there who has not done so yet, please do look into this. Other ways that the government has helped is by easing cash flow deficiencies, so by introducing the deferral of personal tax and VAT. But I think a concrete example of how a business has managed to pivot during this time, and which I have seen myself firsthand, is from one of my clients who took advantage of the Eat Out to Help Out scheme. This was a huge success for all hospitality sectors, such for businesses like restaurants, in the month of August, which saw some restaurants' turnover triple in that month compared to the same month in the previous year. When this finished, sales dropped drastically. And one of my clients that I've mentioned, as I've seen with quite a few businesses actually, decided to keep the initiative going for days that they were not busy. So in this particular case, on Mondays, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, there weren't that many customers coming through the door. So he decided to extend the Eat Out to Help Out scheme out of his own pocket. Now, expenses were already being incurred during these days. So he always had to keep a certain number of staff in the restaurant just in case he got busy. He had to also order a certain level of stock, again, just in case he got too busy. And a lot of this food usually would go to waste. There was also electricity and heating and other expenses which were being incurred anyway, but the sales and the income was not being generated as such. So after putting this scheme into place, they saw that sales within these days soared compared to what they usually made, and they ended up turning clients away. And obviously the monetary advantage goes without saying, but the psychology behind customers' behavior had a big impact, as people saw that they were so busy, they were calling up to book for these specific days so they would not get disappointed. This is an example of someone who managed to pivot his business by analysing his financials, but broken down by days to bring in the extra income with almost the same expenses that he was incurring anyway. So it's all about mindset and seeing how you have to change in order to succeed. And with the way the world is changing, even if you have a process that seems airtight, there are things that are changing on a daily basis. So you always have to be on your toes, ready to change with the times. So you may be anywhere along the line of your business journey. You may have an idea, but do not know where to begin. You may have launched, but have been overwhelmed with obstacles which you had not considered. You may have launched, achieved growth, but now you're struggling to achieve the same targets as you may have done in the early stages of your business. Your idea of having a business may seem a long distant memory, and you feel lost by all the obligations and regulation and compliance, which is not something anyone told you about. And the reality of having a business may be very different. So why did you or do you want to start a business? We all have an objective. It could be to improve your financial position. It could be to make a difference to others. It could be to achieve a lifelong goal of being independent and not having to answer to anyone. So you may want more freedom to enjoy other areas of your life, such as your family life, or for traveling to see the world and meet lots of new people. You may want an environment that is less stressful, with less pressure from deadlines. Or you may have just wanted to be your own boss, be in control of your business and make your own decisions yourself. As decisions are made faster, there is also less admin. However, I think that many will or have already realised that it's not all what it seems. In reality, when you start your business, you're building something from scratch. You'll need to create processes and some kind of order to follow to get your idea off the ground and build a framework to allow it to grow. As a result, you'll most likely be working even longer hours than before because you're doing this for yourself now, not for somebody else. As a result of working longer hours, you are even more stressed than before as you do not have that tried and tested process in place. You therefore end up being thrust into the unknown. You're always wondering and second guessing yourself, is this going to work? Will I be a success? You'll be wearing all hats of the business because you no longer have that separate team to deal with the legals and compliance and record keeping and stock take and so on. And from my experience, the admin side of a business is about 40% of the business, which is something very few are even aware of when they take the plunge. Now you're alone, you don't have the opinions of your colleagues and others who may have experience in what you're doing, or possibly from others that are doing the same thing as you because they see you as competition. So they will not be as willing to help you out. But it's not all doom and gloom. There are those out there who can help you. You just need to ensure you find the right one for you. Someone who fits your ways of working and can find solutions and a path for you to follow. So this is why I'd like to stress to you the importance of getting yourself a good advisor. In my experience, and of many of those whom I've had the advantage of working with, businesses perform overall in the long term better when they have an advisor on board. And I want to highlight the importance of the word advisor. Here I am referring to accountants who are utilizing the latest technology so they can free up their time to really provide the expertise from years of experience that has been built up from observing how a business can fail or succeed, and turning this into a tool for analysis to provide you with an actionable plan for your business. I will use our transformation as an example for you. So we were a traditional firm. We were very focused on deadlines, on ensuring that our clients had their tax returns, accounts, VATs and payroll submitted on time, and they knew how much tax they had to pay for the previous year. Yes, when they came to see us, we'd quickly talk about how they were doing, and they may have mentioned something that was bothering them or their business, and we tried to find a solution. But as you can see, there wasn't a lot of value added here. Everything we were doing was looking in the past. There was no difference that could be made and no information that could have been extracted, because that's already gone. There's nothing you can do with the past. Fast forward a few years, with the adoption of QuickBooks Online and the app ecosystem, we've now eliminated manual processes, and we have time now to fully understand how you are running your business. Why are you running your business in such a way? And help to identify and set up robust processes to ensure that activities are running as smoothly as possible. Yes, we are still ensuring that we provide compliance. We don't want our clients to get any penalties or get into trouble with the Inland Revenue. But now we have the time to help to translate the figures on the accounts now, not from the past. We want to see what's going on right now and show what this means to your business right now. And with this information, we can help to identify efficiencies and ways that the business can change to improve. We can then help to plan for these changes, help to forecast for the goals that you want to achieve, so that you have a clearer understanding of what is going on in your business. So you have a plan on how you want to achieve your goals, and you have more time to focus on specific targeted areas of your business to improve. Basically, we have become the virtual finance director for our clients, but without the price tag that is usually associated with this title, and all by using the technology and the ecosystem within QuickBooks Online. This was an example of what we do and how we have become advisors for our clients, but this is the kind of information and guidance your business needs to ensure that you give it the best chance of succeeding. We've identified that the needs of business owners have changed and businesses have evolved, and we are working now in a much smarter way. And there is no reason why small businesses cannot take advantage of working in the same way as larger businesses, which have all the resources in the world to invest in this vital information, which they then use to help them grow exponentially. But a small business can also achieve the same thing. So I've been talking a lot about the app ecosystem, which is within QuickBooks, but we need to know what this is. But I think it's important to discuss this in conjunction with the components of a business and how the app ecosystem fits within these requirements to support your overall business. So the components relating to a business, one of those is sales. So apart from the fact that you need to generate as many sales as possible, you also need to ensure you have a system in place to record these accurately. So you will be able to analyze these at a later date to see what may be more popular, what you can drop, and what you may need to provide more of. One of the apps that our clients in the hospitality sector, for example, use is the Good Till Company or an EPOS system. And this is ideal for high volume sales with many components, which can be super difficult to set up. And these apps integrate with QuickBooks Online. So at the end of each night, all information from your till is uploaded to QuickBooks Online, eliminating the chance of human error and saving potentially up to 10 hours of sifting through individual sales invoices and entering them one by one. And usually you won't be getting as much information from them as you would by using these apps. But similarly, for those that don't have a till system but they raise invoices, QuickBooks Online feature of sending invoices and having the ability to see who has opened and read the email is super insightful and can be a great conversation starter when chasing for your money. When you speak to clients, they'll say, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I haven't paid your invoice. I haven't opened the email yet. I haven't looked at it." You can actually say, "Well, yeah, you did. And I know when you did." So it's been super insightful for all of our clients. Now, expenses, obviously it is a requirement for any expenses to be kept as proof of business purchase if you're to claim them in your accounts and make sure that they're tax deductible. And one of the most popular apps in the ecosystem, which we use heavily as a firm and provide to all of our clients, is Receipt Bank. It's a great way of ensuring you've been compliant while also connecting to QuickBooks Online directly and setting up rules for the software to remember where these expenses should go itself. So on average, I would say we've saved around 5 to 6 hours of manual work for each of our clients, and they also have the peace of mind that even if they've lost the receipt, as long as they took a picture and submitted it through Receipt Bank, we will not be chasing for it. And I'm sure that's a huge weight lifted of all business owners' minds, ensuring that the accountants are not chasing them. So legal and compliance. So each business has their legal responsibilities to update and keep HMRC and Companies House informed on their business activities. So QuickBooks Online allows for these updates via submissions through VATs and payroll, for example, through software and through the software, and journals are created automatically, therefore saving so much time and providing peace of mind of having everything in one place. Cash flow is a hugely important area for each of you. So many new businesses fail within the first 5 years of trading, and one of the key attributing factors to this is the management of cash. At the start of any business, there are large initial costs to get the business going, but with so many businesses, they run out of cash very quickly, and it can be for a number of reasons. It could be that they haven't planned for the expenses required adequately. Maybe there aren't enough robust processes in place to collect income, and there are huge debtors increasing on a daily basis. Credit terms with suppliers are usually very short for businesses that have just started, so there hasn't been enough time to have that trust in place where suppliers will extend those credit terms. But there are also businesses that are more mature that they just haven't considered extending payment terms with suppliers. And maybe it's also not being aware that when you're going to run out of cash, and there are no cash flow projections carried out as a result. So as a firm, we've adopted the app Fluidly, which takes information from QuickBooks Online directly in real time and adjusts based on the business's behaviour. It analyses when the business could potentially need extra funding, and there is a requirement to adjust for capital expenses, for example, or one-off income, so the projections are not distorted and they can be as accurate as possible. But it is a great tool to make you aware as soon as possible, so you can take action and do something about it earlier rather than when it's too late. Another app which we can now not live without is Go Cardless. So since we've adopted it, our own firm have seen our debtors almost halved. And the way it works is it allows you to send direct debit mandates to your customers once you've signed them up and registered them as a customer within QuickBooks. And every time you raise an invoice, you're in control of when you collect it. So you do not need to wait for whenever the client will remember. And so for anybody who hasn't checked this app out, it's an absolute must for all businesses, regardless of where in the business cycle or journey you may be. So if you've identified that you may have cash flow issues, you're going to need to figure out how to sort that out. And one of those is searching for funding. So since going digital, we've been fortunate enough to be able to search for funding on behalf of our clients by connecting the QuickBooks Online data to an app partner called Capitalize, which has a large number of lenders specialized in all areas of business funding, and finding which one is most suitable relating to what the business is looking for. Now, we've noticed that businesses are much more likely to successfully obtain funding when their accountant is on board, and the process is a lot smoother because we understand what the lenders are looking for, we understand the terminology, and we've been doing this for years on end, so we can provide the information quite early on upfront and cut out that middleman. And as a result, we've managed to successfully raise quite a lot of money using this platform in the last year for our clients. So hopefully, as we will start to come out of this pandemic, they will have a better chance to grow and carry on trading at least. Now, customers are an important component of your business, and QuickBooks has its own feature, in fact, which can act as a simple CRM for your business, which can help you to keep all of your customer data in one place and have all information there. So if you need to carry out any analysis, it's all within one data set, which is super useful. The importance also of suppliers, as I've mentioned above. The Good Till company also caters for those who may have stock, for example. So there's an integrated stock feature which informs you how much stock you have left and when you need to order it. So you know when you're needing to be contacting your suppliers in real time. Now, strategy and planning, it's vital, as I've mentioned before, in a business if you're going to give yourself the best chance. But there are so many elements of the business that all fit into this. Some of those that I've mentioned, there are a number of apps which help in all areas of planning, such as the cash flow forecasting, which I've mentioned previously, that we use Fluidly. Obviously, there are so many others out there, such as Futurely or Float. There are apps for inventory management and so on, but all of these apps all feed into the strategy that you need within your business to succeed. Marketing nowadays is super important. Not everyone is an expert in marketing, and a lot of people think that you have to have all sorts of knowledge to be able to market your business successfully. In fact, you don't. There are so many tools out there that you can use in order to help to market yourself without a huge expense, such as Instagram or Facebook, for example. But QuickBooks allows you to link your CRM software or your marketing software, such as MailChimp or HubSpot as well, to allow for mass email marketing and ensuring that your systems in both systems are holding the same data, so no one is missed out. So you don't want to miss out any potential clients or current clients that you have in your database. Last but not least, staffing. Apart from the fact that you can run your payroll on QuickBooks Online, there is an app which we use in our office to track working times for our staff. This is called T-Sheet, and which I believe is being renamed to QuickBooks Time very soon. This, for me personally, has been a lifesaver and has saved, on average, I'd say 3 to 4 hours per month when I am doing the payroll run. We used to have manual timesheets, whereas now all staff have an app on their phone, or they'll log in the morning when they come into the office via our iPad by entering their own unique code. And when I'm doing the payroll at the end of the month, it has an amazing dashboard which gives me all of the reporting that I need to ensure that I'm paying everybody the correct amount. Now, it's not just about the ease and the time saving, but there is the compliance and legal side of this. Now, HMRC are really big on, at the moment, going after companies to ensure that they have paid the correct amount of pay to their staff, and to make sure that it is at least above the national minimum wage. Now, a lot of businesses, especially those who have contracts with their employees, that they're working from 9 till 5, Monday to Friday, this many days a week, this is how much they've got time off, for example. It's all written down in the contract, and you think that that's enough to cover, for the hours that you should be paying your staff. In actual fact, it's not. Later on, it could be in 2-3 years' time, your employee could say, actually, I realized that I've worked so many more hours, but I wasn't paid for that time. So I've worked more than was contracted, and I want payment. They may go to HMRC to report you and say that I haven't been paid. HMRC will say that they want to be fair, and they will come to you to ask you to provide records of the hours that they have worked, and then compare these with what the employee has said, and compare these with the payroll that you have run. If you haven't kept these records, then all that will happen is they will say, well, you have no proof to prove otherwise, So we will have to agree with the employee, you're going to need to pay them X amount of hours, X amount of money, and apart from paying them that, HMRC could also request for up to 200% penalty for those employees, and on top of that you'll have tax and NI and other things to pay, so it can become super costly. So this element is not just, as I said, not just as important with the time saving, but it's a way of covering yourself for the future as well, in case of any inquiries. So the apps I've mentioned in the previous slide are just a few apps that can solve some business needs, but there are so many other apps out there, it's impossible to go through them all, but it's really easy to filter through them by searching which business needs you require to be fulfilled. And if it's not on there currently, then there are third parties which can facilitate the integration. So if you haven't done so already, I'd suggest that everyone goes onto the directory, just have a look at what is out there. You'll find apps which you did not realize existed, or apps which you didn't even realize you needed. And so many of them can be game changers for your business, and they have been for us. And I've seen the same thing for our clients as well. So please do go and check that out on the app directory. So after listening to me rambling on, I hope that you've managed to highlight some key takeaways which you can turn into actions. But what I will do is I'll go through some which I think are really important and which you should be focusing on today, and which you can take away with you today and start implementing straight away. So it may seem obvious coming from me, but I cannot stress how important it is to get a good advisor on board. I too often see business owners who have come to me as a last resort for a solution which I can help with possibly, in 5 minutes in some occasions, and may have been able to save a lot of tax at that time. But if they would have come earlier, that would have meant they could have saved all the worry and stress they had and focus on more important things within their business. Secondly, I would like you to sit down and write your goals and visions for your business. This does not only relate to new businesses, so all businesses at whatever stage they are at should be doing this on a regular basis. It's great to throw all of your ideas down on a piece of paper so you can really see everything in one place and start to make some sense out of it. I personally do this once a year on a big whiteboard, as it helps me to have kind of a clear understanding of where I am on my journey, what needs to be improved, and how can I find ways of getting where I need to be, whilst obviously having the bigger picture and purpose in my mind. There's a quote by Tony Robbins which I really resonate with, and that's, if you talk about it, it's a dream. If you envision it, it's possible. But if you schedule it, it is real. So I think by putting all of your ideas down, you can really start to make your business and your dream a reality. Lastly, I would like you to find 2 pain points that you have in your business right now. Ideally, how would you like these to be changed and automated if possible? And how much of a time saving and convenience would this be for you? Then go onto the app directory and you'll be surprised that you will most likely find something out there which will alleviate some of the pain that you're feeling right now. So they're kind of my 3 key takeaways, but I have a confession to make. It's a real privilege for me to have been given this session today, and I will let you know why. So 3 or 4 years ago, I was in your shoes. I'd heard about the changes in the ways that we record and submit our information for compliance purposes to HMRC and Companies House, how this would change. And I searched what this would mean for our business and our clients' businesses. I spoke to the QuickBooks sales team and everything seemed okay. It was a technology that would ensure we would be compliant and we would need to slightly change how we were working. I was invited to QuickBooks Connect of that year, and it was the first accounting conference I had been to. So I had no idea genuinely what I was what I should be expecting. However, after going to all of the different talks and listening to the speakers, my mind was literally blown. I could not believe that we had not adopted these systems up until that point. And the more I heard, the more I felt we were so behind, and I couldn't understand how, we weren't using these systems to not only just be compliant, but use the technology to propel us ahead of our industry while bringing our clients on this journey with us. And it can be easy to forget that I too am a business owner just like you. I too am in your shoes, and honestly, I cannot stress how much this setup can literally change your life. So to be up here as an example of someone who has managed to go through this transformation is honestly a privilege, and I hope that you all too can join me on this journey, as it is never too late. Unfortunately, we've come to the end of this session. I hope you've all been able to take something away to make a difference to your businesses. If any of you want to get into contact with me directly, my details are on the slide. You can contact me by email or by going to our website at majorsaccounts.com, where we have a live chat feature. You can also reach me on all social media channels, so LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook or Instagram. I hope you've enjoyed today's session. I'd like to say a huge thank you for joining me, and we'd love to know if this session was useful to you. So please do click on the survey button on this page to answer just a few questions. Whereas now I will be taking your questions. So if you have any questions, please do go ahead and ask those.